Well, everybody, welcome back. This will be the November 2018 layout update. Um, Sorry I didn't get one up last month. I've been going through a lot of stuff with my dad. But I wanted to show you just what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of detail works when I do have the time. And I figured that I can attack that first. And it's not so major work. And I just don't have time to do it right now. So I'm doing a lot of the details as I can. We're going to start over here in Phelix, the facility. As you can see, I've built up the ground here and I've put the tracks on the gantry crane. I've got all that installed. I got the crane itself, the cab, the operating area. Then back over here is a electrical cabinet because this is electric. It's not diesel gas or anything like that. It does move back and forth, and it rides, on either side to the end and all the way down to the end here, and it can sit there. So this is for their, to remove wheel sets or any kind of, I would say, light work, outdoor light work. Even though it might be heavy, it's just something they can't do inside the actual machine shop there. But yeah, I've put this fence up. I went ahead and used it here. I'm going to keep some of that foliage. I did keep some of that on there, and I'm going to put some like it's growing up a little bit or alongside there. But I did build that up. If you check my other videos out, you can see how much I had to build it up. But I think you can pretty much see right here on the corner. But I put some bump stops in there. The cab actually lights up. I've got the light underneath it too. You can see the control booth in there, and you can see a guy sitting in there at the controls. The ladder there that goes down with a guy standing on the platform, and then there's another ladder that will go down in between the wheel sets. Then back here, over here in the corner, I did a bunch of scrap stuff, some chain, and all that hanging off of there. I decided to kind of move that oil tank. I didn't think that would be, I wouldn't say necessarily prototypical. Sorry about the focus. It sucks, I know. But I moved it over here instead. And I figured it'd be a little bit safer being away from that electrical box. I also went ahead and there's a big cable there that runs from the gantry that powers the gantry. And then it also goes up to the building, and then that runs a line across over here to this power pole. And then there runs a line back again to this power pole. And you can see they're anchored to the ground, and this goes up to the maintenance of waste shed. And then back here I've got a spike there for this pole. I also did and finished actually fitting out my crew lounge. So I'm going to try to get you in as close as I can. You have a Coke machine in there and a Pepsi machine, and you got a vending machine over here off to the left. I don't know if you can make it out, but you can see it. It's all hand painted. If you look in that third window there, you can see kind of a TV. I'm going to try to get real still. But what that is actually the weather channel that's on. So I don't know how well you can see that. But that's all hand painted. And then on top of that, I went ahead and built my sand elevator here. Built the silo, and then I built the actual dispenser here. You can see that 1005 is being sanded right now. And these are actually movable arms. I can actually take them and move them around and move them up, and I did that on purpose. This is all scratch built. Everything here is scratch built. Then I did the top up here, and then down here you got the ladder access point, and then you've got the deck that comes out so they can get the unloading hose here for the grain, or for the hopper cars that I've yet to get. I got to get some, at least one or two. And then back here on the back side, you can see the ladder that goes down to the ground. I'm sorry about my voice. I think I'm getting sick. It's been real cold up here, and I'm trying not to strain it too much. I did put some detail signs here a little bit on the and some explosives here on the fuel area. And then, of course, that's my Broadway limited baby over there, SD40. But I still got to do the catwalk up here, and I still got to put the rails, and I got to do the ladder here. But I did put some no smoking signs up here, some flammable. I put diesel fuel and explosive up here with the Exxon, the old style Exxon sign. I've got to get my ladder installed on that, and that'll be this probably will be my next task. I've been procrastinating on this. I don't know why, but I've got to get it finished. You can see where I've put a plate, deck plate up here. I just got to paint it and weather it, and then finish the catwalk. But moving back on this side, as you can see, my swing gate's in. So I've got my private property keep out on the main gate. And the thing about this gate is it swings. I can actually move it and close it and open it. And it's got a little stopper right there to keep it from flying out into the main line. But it stops right there at the ground throw. I kind of got this idea off of a YouTuber's channel where they did it out of Legos. Now, I'm not a Lego, I mean, I like Legos, but I'm not a Lego fan. I don't really mess with Legos. But what I did was basically take some brass tubing, and I ran some of that wire up for the fence up and through the tubing and made some small hinges. And then down at the bottom, if you look, I'm going to take you under here. Excuse all the mess and the wiring and everything, folks. But if you look, you see the wire and how it just bends down, and I can just turn it, grab it, and just turn it however I want to turn it. But yeah, it seems to work, and I like it. And the brick wall there on the back, I'm still working on it. I've got the mortar put in, but I've got to do a little weathering to it. I've done... I went ahead and used the fence over here at Grower Shipping because I didn't want to waste it. And really, for the most part, that's pretty much done. All I got to do is get the brick walls here done up on each side of the sidewalk. And I got to get the sidewalk continued from this grade crossing here all the way down there to the back. And then the photo backdrop, I'm not sure about that, but I do want to put a photo backdrop back there. And of course, I want to do a little bit better on the trees. I want to kind of bring it out into a three-dimensional setting. And but that's basically what I've been doing. I've been playing with card, what they call cards or whatever. I like, everybody does them differently. I like where you kind of just shuffle to them, and it gives you random, whatever needs to be picked up, dropped off, or whatever. And this is all just done on pencil. And of course, this will all be painted black. I got to sand it. And then over here, and I'm doing the same thing for Phelix facility with my locomotives. And this works because when you build consist, sometimes you forget the number. And you cannot clear them out of the throttle unless you know what the number is. So I don't want to forget the number. So I went ahead and made sure that each locomotive that's consisted together is all written down. So if I wanted to clear them and break them up and do something different, I could, and I ain't got to worry about forgetting the number. And then over here, I've got a repairs and service card. I'll get to that later. That's just something, whatever. But yeah, I've been playing with that a little bit. And of course, there'll be probably three or four more on this side eventually when I get the rest of this chemical facility done. There'll be two, some kind of, I don't know what they're going to be yet. It's just, I'm not going to get into all that right now, but there'll be two kind of industries here, which I have to build all this still out, and that might be the middle of next year. And then back here on the back wall will be the chemical plant. I've got to get it done before I can do anything with the center aisle. But I did do this little Proco mock-up here. It's just paper board with a little bit of trees that's cut out of I don't know where I got them from, some kind of model kit. But what I was playing with was the idea that I have enough room that I can come off that backdrop enough, probably about 2 or 3 inches, enough to make it give it some depth. And then of course, as it works back toward the corner, I can get the major part of the chemical facility done. And I think what I'm going to do is wind up doing 2 tracks. I'm going to have one kind of cut towards the corner and with a mirror that would look like it takes it on back. And then this one track over here that will swing up. And I've talked about this in other videos. Of course, there'll be a road there, and it'll probably be paved over. But that'll be pretty much where the trucks can maybe load from the car, or maybe from just a truck loading area there, and then just a storage track. But for the most part over here, I haven't really been doing anything. I did build another electrical cabinet. Put it together because this here is going to be another signal head over here eventually. And of course I got the one over there by that signal head. I just got to paint them up and light them up. The thing about it is, I'm going to end up changing all my signal heads to the BLMAs, which I think they're bought out by Atlas. I heard somebody talking about it, and it doesn't matter to me, but all these signal heads that I built over here, I'm going to change out. And then the two signal heads over here, I'm going to change those out. And the one over here on the back side, which feeds into growers, it will be changed. I am going to keep this one right here, the target signal. I kind of like that one, and I'm going to keep it. But that'll all be down the road. But as far as the facility, that's really why I've been focusing on. And yes, it's glued down now. I've got the windows in it. I don't have the windows in that one yet. And the roof is not glued in, but I have the doors here. And they got slides for the doors. I could put the doors inside when I remove the roof, and they slide up and down. And I like them that way. And even though some of this stuff I say is operational, it's not really operational. It's just that I can move it. And if I want to take different pictures or whatever, because I'm also on some Facebook train groups, I like to kind of, set up the scene, you know what I mean? And that's why the gantry moves. That's why the doors will raise up and down. If you actually look over here, which I didn't show you, this actually comes off. It's just locked in this little thing, and that'll be for the hopper to unload, and then it just snaps right back in there. So I could set up, things and make it look good, just kind of like these little boom arms here. These are all swing operational, and I can raise them up or down for the height of the locomotive because each one is different. That's an Ace back there being sanded, and if you see the high nose on that, you can see the lower nose on this SD40 on this Paragon. So so that's really what I've been doing. I've just been focused on a lot of details, and I'm going to do something a little bit special tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut all these lights off, the main lights inside these shop, and I want to show you how the layout looks lit up on this side. I figure I haven't done that yet, and I want to check that out, and I want you to see it as well. But yeah, for the most part, that's what's been going on. So without further ado, I'm going to cut the lights off, and I'm going to let you see it lit up and see what you think. So everybody, just hold up a second. All right, so we're at the double trestle bridge here, entering the Phelix area, and you can see how it's lit up. And I'm going to give you kind of a bird's eye view of the entire layout on this side, and you can see just how much it's lit up. I love night operations, and that's what I'm shooting for, and I like to be able to shut the power off and just run by the real lights of the railroad. And in time, of course, it will be that way. You can see how lit up this back is, and with the painting on the backdrop, you can see that the rest of this will be as well. I know right now it's in dark. The only thing that's going to be lit up on this side is the signal heads, and for now anyway. And but eventually, the back and this side will look just like this. Actually, the back wall will look more. It'll be different, because I'll explain that in a minute. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a tour to show you how this looks at night. in the dark. So here it is. So you have your signals here, and you have your cabinet, relay cabinet. You got your maintenance away. You've got the actual shop, and you got the gantry crane. You got the light in the gantry crane plus underneath the gantry. And then you have the lights here in the facility. Now, like I said before, the black back here in this black corner, I'm not going to mess with that right now because I talked about this in one of my other videos. I'm thinking about putting a staging yard in back along this wall where it's dark, but probably about 7 or 8 feet. Have an inbound, outbound, just so I could store some of my stuff, and when I'm not running it, and it won't be in the way. But working around this end, you can see how lit up it all is. And back here, I'm gonna see if I can take you around so you can see it. And you can see my crew shed. And then I'm gonna try to take you around the other side so you can see it. So just hold on just a second. And we're gonna try to take you around real slow. But you can also see the signal here on this end. Now I want to just duck under here real quick. And you can see how it looks from this point of view. Now, like I said, the doors have little windows on them, so even if the doors are shut, you'll be able to see light. I'm thinking about putting maybe a little light here up on one of these poles, just because it's so dark right here in the front. But I'm not sure about all that right now. But you can see the facility now that it's focused in. You can see how lit up it really is. And as far as night operations go, hey, I don't think I'm going to have an issue with that. Everything here is in great shape. And I'm going to try to get you in where you can see that might just be too bright. But coming back along here, you can see the little lamp post, and you can see how lit up everything is over the main majority. And then over here, I've actually even got my little security shed. It's all lit up. And yes, I did this for a reason. That is an amber light in there, and the reason I've done that is because I have worked in a guard shack that had an amber light in it. And I thought that would be kind of cool instead of putting a white light in there like everywhere else. So that's what I did. And then, of course, grower shipping, looking back, you can see all the dock lights, the clear or the stop where you can't unload. There's 2 receiving doors there in the front, and there's 2 shipping doors there on the end. So that way each one at some point or another can stay one shipping, 1 receiving. So it doesn't matter if it's the one on the rear or if it's the whatever. I've just got them staggered that way. I know most backdrop dock doors for train cars has 2 doors. But I did this for room's sake, and gives it a little bit of operational fun too as well, because I can change the lights on the doors, and they're lit up in there as well. I don't know if you can see them, but if you look inside, you can see the lights in the doors, and you can see how they're lit up. So they're just not bright, but they're bright enough that you can see it. But yeah, so this is what it looks like at an overall view at night, and how it's coming along. And eventually, like I said, the rest of it will be, of course, I want to put some lights in the bridge. I want to put a flashing light on top of the bridge, and maybe a port and starboard red and green light on the bottom. I'm not sure yet. And then, of course, over in the corner here where the chemicals will be, that will all be lit up as well. And then probably back here at the corner, I might end up putting another industry of some sort. And then, of course, everything here in the center, I know you can't see, but we're going to get the lights back up, and I'll finish explaining that to you. So for now, yeah, this is how it looks at night, and I hope you enjoy this part. And I really liked it, and I'm really impressed with it. So if I can impress myself, I hope I impress somebody. So let's get the lights back up, and we'll continue. All right, and we're back. So I'm already close pushing 20 minutes, but really what I wanted to give an idea for the ones who are not aware of this, some of y'all has been with me for a while, and you kind of already know this, but what I want to do back here on this back is going to be, this is going to be pulled outward, probably about to where this programming track and cleaning track's at. And what's going to be over here is going to be a town. It's going to have a water tower about where that tube there is in the corner. And then it'll have a hotel. I want some service stations, maybe some restaurant or some kind of fast food. This road will be lit up and it will go under down here where this big gap is in this part here. And it will go under this, all these tracks back here. And then back there in the corner, I'm probably going to do an industry. But for the most part, I can't really wait to see this lit up, because this is going to be more of your town, modern day town. Maybe not, I mean, it's not going to be massive, but it'll be more of a one street type situation. I really like several YouTubers, modern day towns. You know, I've been watching, even in scale, there's a guy, can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he does I think at Mojave desert layout, and he has a town. I mean, it's just a little, you know, 2-lane with a turning lane that it just looks so awesome. So that's what I'm going to wind up doing here on this backdrop, and I can imagine how it's going to look when it's lit up as well. So and then of course with the chemical lit up back here and all that signals, and it's really going to be nice, I think, when I get it completed. And then, of course, all the center here, I got to build it out, and this will be some industries as well. But really, that's all I've been doing, and I'm not going to keep lagging on with this. But I do want to congratulate Kyle Stevens. He's coming along with his modular. He's trying to do a club layout, I believe. And I know he's had some setbacks as well. So I want to do a shout out to him. And if you, like I said, you not familiar with him, he likes a lot of steam era type stuff, which I do too. So if you into that sort of thing, you might want to like or check out his channel, subscribe or whatever. And I do want to give a real shout out to Sparky 107. Sad to say I'm not subscribed to his channel. I probably need to be, and I think I am going to do that. But he's going through a lot of personal issues and some tragedies this year. So I want to shout out to them about that. And if you haven't checked his channel out, by all means do. He's got a PayPal account right now set up for some issues that's going on. And if you don't know him, you ought to check his channel out. And hey, maybe you can help him. I don't know. But Model Railroad community, we try to stick together. And but on a lighter note, that's pretty much my layout update for this month. And I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully next month I can bring you some more. But we'll see how that thing, things go with my dad as well. He's been in and out of hospital this past month, and he's got some more stuff coming up. So, all right. So until next month, hopefully if I don't talk to you by then, maybe I'll put up something short, and we'll see you soon.